Broke black widower buys a 19-year-old girl who was being auctioned off by her own parents. The mansion was buzzing with laughter, champagne glasses clinking under crystal chandeliers. But behind the glamour, something disturbing was taking place. On a small stage, a nervous 19-year-old girl stood trembling in a borrowed dress. Her own parents, cold and calculating, whispered with wealthy guests. "She's young, educated, and pretty," her father announced. "Who's willing to invest?" It wasn't a party. It was a sale. The girl's eyes darted through the crowd, pleading silently. But nobody cared. To them, she wasn't a daughter, she was a commodity. Bids began to fly. 10,000. 20. 50. Rich men chuckled as if this were just another game. The mother smiled proudly at the numbers climbing higher. Then, a voice cut through the laughter. 100. The room fell silent. Heads turned. At the back of the hall, standing awkwardly in a worn-out suit, was a black widower named James. He was broke, everyone knew it. A janitor who had lost his wife years ago, he barely scraped by raising his son. The father sneered, You can't even afford a decent tie. This is serious." But James didn't flinch. He repeated, firmer, 100. Gasps filled the room. Guests whispered, mocking him. Some laughed openly. "Does he even have $100? The mother crossed her arms. "This isn't charity. You're wasting our time." James reached into his pocket. His hand shook as he pulled out a folded envelope. Inside was everything he had saved over years of scrubbing floors and working double shifts. His son's college fund. His emergency money. Every last cent. He slammed it on the table. Cash. The father's eyes widened, not in shame but in greed. He grabbed the envelope, counted quickly, and smirked. Sold. The girl's breath caught. She stared at James, confused. Terrified. When the crowd dispersed, James walked toward her. She braced herself, trembling. But instead of grabbing her, James pulled off his jacket and draped it gently over her shoulders. "You're free now," he said softly. Her eyes filled with tears. "Free? But, why?" James's voice cracked. "Because no one deserves to be treated like that. Not my wife when she was alive, not you, not anyone." The girl collapsed into sobs. For the first time, someone had seen her not as property, but as a person. The parents rushed forward, furious. "You can't just take her." James turned, his eyes blazing. "I didn't buy her to own her. I bought her so you couldn't." The room went dead silent. Even the wealthy guests who had mocked him earlier now stared in stunned silence. Some even lowered their heads in shame. James guided the girl toward the door. She clutched his arm, her body shaking, but her steps were steady. As they left the mansion, the girl whispered, "You gave up everything for me." James smiled faintly. "Money can be earned again. But a life. A soul. You can't put a price on that." The heavy doors shut behind them, leaving the glittering hall in silence. And though James walked away broke, he walked away with something greater, the knowledge that he had saved a life. And the world would never see him the same again.